So we're going to do a quick review of metric conversion, and that is we call this the ladder method. There may be some other names out there for it, but we'll refer to this as the ladder method of metric conversion. So first, a couple quick notes. We've talked about this several times about how the metric system is preferred by scientists because the English system requires formulas and complex multiplication. So here's just a quick example. If you look, 16 ounces equals 1 pound. So if I have 52.5 pounds, you would have to multiply that by 16 in order for you to get your answer. Same kind of thing with a mile to a foot, or even a mile to inches. It's just pretty difficult for people to convert those things compared to what can be done in the metric system. And we know from what we watched yesterday about the climate orbiter in Mars that it can be pretty disastrous if you try to do some conversions and you get those wrong. So the ladder method is by far the easiest way to convert from one of these things to another. So you've seen these around the room. They've been referred a couple times too. These are your basic units. These are your most common prefixes in terms of the metric system. And so I'm not going to go through all of them and exactly what they mean, but you should know these based on sight from what you've done in the past. So to convert from a smaller unit, so if you have, let's say, a deci and you want to convert that to a milli, you're going to move that decimal place to the right, like so. And if you want to convert to a larger unit, you would move the decimal place to the left. So here we have a practice one. We have 4 and 564 thousandths of a kilometer, and we want to change that from kilometers to meters. So the very first thing you do in converting is you look at your starting point and you look at your end point. And then you're going to count the amount of jumps. I say that in quotes because they're not literal jumps. How many jumps it takes for you to get from kilometers to meters. So we'll go 1, 2, and 3. So now we go to our decimal place in the problem and we do that same amount of jumps. 1, 2, 3. And so we have moved that decimal place from here to the end, and so we can see that 4 and 564 thousandths of a kilometer is equal to 4,564 meters. So that is in its simplest, explanation, how you do the ladder method. Again, this should be just review for you. What you're going to do now is you're going to do some of this as a practice to show that you understand this.